Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the lean method. It's this really powerful way of thinking that helps you take a brilliant idea and actually turn it into a successful business. And here's the best part, all without burning through your cash or wasting months, even years, on the wrong thing.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the old, broken way people used to do things. Then we'll get into the faster, smarter, lean method, its key milestones, the tools you'll need to put it into action, and finally, the mindset you need to make it all click. Let's get into it.
Okay, Section 1. The old, broken way. To really get why the lean method is such a game changer, you've got to understand what it replaced and why that old approach just doesn't work in the real world.
So, let's say you have that light bulb moment, that brilliant idea. What's the very first thing you do? Well, for years, for decades, the answer was always the same. Go write a massive, super detailed business plan. You'd lock yourself away for months, forecasting sales 5 years out, writing up this huge strategy, all based on what? Assumptions. And the big problem is, the second that beautiful plan actually meets a real, live customer, it almost always just falls apart.
And this right here really shows you the core difference. The traditional way, it's all about having this perfect, static business plan. It's a linear process, and it's totally focused on the product. It basically treats building a business like it's a math problem. Just execute the formula perfectly. But the lean method, it's completely different. It's about having a dynamic, one-page canvas. The process is iterative, it's a loop, and the focus is on the customer from day one. It treats a startup like a science experiment, where your job isn't to be right, it's to find the truth by testing your guesses.
Okay, so if the old way of just executing a fixed plan is broken, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us right to our second section, a faster, smarter method. Let's get into the core idea of lean.
And this quote right here, it's the whole ballgame. The core idea of the lean method is to accept that you're operating under uncertainty. You just can't predict the future, so why would you waste all that time on a super rigid plan? Think about it. It's like trying to use a detailed street map to navigate through a thick fog. It's useless. What you actually need is a compass and a process to figure out where you're going step by step. And in the lean method, that compass is your customer.
So you might be hearing all this and thinking, okay, so it's just chaos? We just wander around? And the answer is no, absolutely not. That's where our next section comes in. The lean method actually gives you a clear roadmap with specific milestones to hit. It's all about turning your guesses into facts, one step at a time.
And that journey has three main stages. Think of them like checkpoints in a race. First, problem-solution fit, which asks, do I even have a problem worth solving? Then you get to product-market fit. Have I built something people actually want? And only after that do you get to scale, where you ask, how do I pour fuel on this fire? The key thing to remember is that you absolutely cannot skip a stage. You have to nail one before you even think about the next.
Okay, so that first checkpoint is problem-solution fit, or PSF. This is so important. Before you spend a single dollar on development, before you write one line of code, your entire job is to confirm that you found a real problem that enough people actually have. This stage is all about talking to customers, validating that the pain is real, before you jump to building your amazing solution.
All right, so once you've proven the problem exists, then you can move on to the next checkpoint, product market fit, or PMF. Now, this is what everyone's chasing. This is the holy grail for startups. It's that magical moment when you've built something, an early version of your product, that not only solves the problem, but solves it so well that customers are actually willing to pay you for it. That's the real test.
And this is so critical, I have to repeat it. Look at this quote. The order is everything. First, problem-solution fit. Then, product-market fit. And only after you've nailed both of those should you even think about scaling. This is probably the single biggest mistake founders make. They try to hit the gas and grow a business before they've even proven people want what they're selling. You have to earn the right to scale.
All right, we have the roadmap, we know the milestones. So, how do we actually get from one to the next? That's what this section is all about, your lean toolkit in action. These are the three essential tools you're going to use.
Tool number 1, the lean canvas. So I want you to forget everything you know about those giant 50-page business plans. Your main tool is this, a single piece of paper that maps out your entire business model. It's designed to be filled out in like 20 minutes, and it's not meant to be permanent. It's a snapshot of your best guesses right now, and you're going to be changing it constantly as you learn new things.
And there's a really smart logic to how you fill this thing out. You don't just start anywhere. Notice where it begins. Number 1, customer segments, and number 2, their problem. You have to figure out who you're serving and what pain they have before you even start thinking about your solution. This is so powerful because it forces you to fall in love with the customer's problem, not your own brilliant idea. That's a huge mental shift.
Okay, tool number 2. If the lean canvas is your map of all your guesses, then the build, measure, learn loop is the engine that actually drives you forward. This is the process you'll run over and over and over again to turn those guesses on your canvas into hard facts.
And this loop is the absolute core of the entire lean method. Here's how it works. First, you take one of your riskiest assumptions and you build the smallest possible thing to test it. That's your minimum viable product, or MVP. Next, you put that MVP in front of real customers and you measure what they actually do. And finally, you take that data and you learn from it. That learning leads to a critical decision. Do we persevere, meaning we keep going on this path, or do we pivot and make a fundamental change to our strategy? It's a cycle. You just keep turning that crank.
Now, let's be really clear about what an MVP is. It's not a smaller, buggier version of your final product. An MVP is an experiment. It's the fastest, cheapest way you can get real data. I mean, it could be a simple landing page just to see if people click the Buy Now button. That's a smoke test. Or you could do a concierge MVP, where you manually deliver the entire service yourself. There's even the Wizard of Oz, where the front looks automated, but you're behind the curtain pulling all the levers. The goal is always the same: maximum learning for minimum effort.
Okay, last tool, and this might be the most important one of all: customer interviews. This is your source of truth. The measure and learn parts of that loop we just talked about, they're fueled by this. You have to get out of the building and talk to actual human beings. But there's a real art to doing these interviews well. You're not there to pitch your solution, you're there to learn about their problem. So you've got to ask open-ended questions. You need to listen way more than you talk. And here's the golden rule: ask about specific past experiences. Don't ask, would you use a product that did X? Ask, tell me about the last time you dealt with this problem. What did you do? What people have actually done in the past is so much more reliable than what they imagine they'll do in the future.
All right, so we've got the roadmap, we've got the tools. When you put it all together, it really comes down to one big thing. And that's our final section: the ultimate lean mindset. It's a complete shift from planning to learning.
And this slide says it all. The old mindset was, my job is to execute the plan perfectly. It's about being right from the start. But the new lean mindset is totally different. It's, my job is to learn as fast as possible what customers actually want. Success isn't measured by how well you stick to your original plan, it's measured by how quickly you can adapt to reality.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought, a question for you to take away. For whatever idea you're working on right now, ask yourself this: what is the single biggest, riskiest assumption you're holding on to? You know, the one belief that if it turns out to be wrong, the whole house of cards comes tumbling down. Figure out what that is, because that right there, that's the starting point for your lean journey.